Hey guys. Okay. There we go, slides. So, quick update on the CMS, largely a roadmap update, and then we'll go over some quick slides on feature requests. So in terms of new features, since the last time that I came to speak to you at an academy, we've released a number of new features. We have put through our event recurrence rules work. So this is something that's come about as a result of the feature requests that a number of customers have asked for, where the requirement and the customer success was that some events happen on multiple days a week. So they're weekly, but say every Tuesday and every Thursday, and it's very difficult to manage the same event but weekly on a Tuesday and the same event but weekly on a Thursday. So now you can set those rules so that if something's happening on a weekly basis, you can say it's happening on Tuesday and Thursday in the same event. We've also put in an additional feature because for some of these events where you set a rule, it's going to happen every Monday, and then it just so happens that year, Christmas Day happens to fall on a Monday. And members of the public look at the council's website and see that this event is happening on a Monday, this Monday, and it's Christmas, and so they turn up. And everyone at the council knows it's Christmas and therefore doesn't. In order that this can, these things happen, and now you can account for that by seeing a prediction of when your event is going to run. So you can see a little calendar, it'll give you a little dot saying your event's going to happen on all these days. And you can then go in and remove any which happen to coincide with a public holiday and add an alternative day where you'll be running it if you want to. So bank holidays and such, I think it's usually the rules where this tends to happen are it's going to happen every, say, second Monday of a month. Those are the ones which people tend to struggle to predict. So this has gone out now. And if you arrange for a patch, this will come onto your website. We've also got, there we go, there's a little calendar. So the little calendar, when you put a recurrence rule in, that will give you an update on every day when we predict, using that rule, your event's going to occur. So you can spot where these clashes between your events and public holidays are going to happen. The next feature, I don't know if anybody in here has asked for it, but again, this is another one which has been driven by feature requests from customers. So again, we're kind of being led by our customers in terms of what we work on next. This is the Jadu API being available in our Galaxies sites. So Galaxies is one of those areas which I think a lot of customers are really exploiting, and it's a unique feature of our platform. And previously, you could only really get the data out using the actual database connection, which is a bit limited if you want to be able to repurpose your data, either on site or on a third-party site. Now the API is also available. So this is the RESTful API where you can sign up for an API key and then pull the data with a request over the web, and we return the results as XML. It's very useful if you want to kind of do some of these lightweight integrations, pulling data out of, say, your tourism sites and repurposing it onto your main website. And last one. So this is, I've missed one. Never mind. So part of what we're planning to do in the future is change how we develop features. So previously what's happened is you put in feature requests, we score them, we work out which ones are the most popular, and then we build them. And sometimes that means that we miss the mark slightly, because what we determine to be kind of like the successful deployment of that feature, a successful build of that feature, doesn't actually match your needs as a customer. And what we really want to deliver is not necessarily a feature, but success. Whatever success is for you as customers, we want to deliver you success. So in order to do that, we're moving to including you guys much more heavily within our development process. For Menu Manager, this has started out by taking what we assume to be, so Menu Manager has again come from customer feature requests. And what we want to do is, there's been a survey that's gone out saying this is what we think Menu Manager means to you. If we deliver these features in this order, this would be successful for you guys and it would deliver something of worth. We've put that into a customer survey to validate these expectations with you guys this is the first one that we've done, but I think this is going to be the process going forward. We've now built a beta of Menu Manager, and that's going to be released, I think, 2 weeks' time. But we've also put in, this is kind of like a pre-release, essentially. It's not kind of like feature complete at this point, and we're putting it behind a beta flag. So if you want to, probably on your UAT sites, opt into our beta program, you can then see these not quite finished features, have a go with them, see if it is sensible to you, whether these, it's obviously doing something good or bad. We want all your feedback. And have a play with them before we then kind of move on to our next big challenge. So for Menu Manager, if you didn't get a chance to have a look at the survey that went out, Menu Manager is really a acceptance of that you need more tools to manage your navigation. So as we were seeing with Ben in the personalization, navigation is a major element of getting people from your homepage over to a successful outcome, which is not contacting your call center because they've already found what they wanted on the website. They've been able to complete their entire transaction online. So in order that we can deliver that and help you deliver that, Menu Manager adds in top of the tools that we've got in terms of our category builder and the way that we kind of like automatically generate that navigation, being able to give you guys the option to be able to reorder those dynamic lists. So if you know something, at the moment, I think most of them are alphabetically sorted, but alphabetically sorted is not the best option in some cases. It's very predictable, but actually what you want is your most commonly accessed item at the top for better usability. So you can go in and reorder the items in the menu. You can add external links into your menu. You can delete external links, hopefully. But also being able to rename items in the navigation. So you've got your title. If your title is very long and it's good for SEO, being able to put kind of a short form of that just for use in the navigation is where that's going. So we put out a quick survey, and I think the infographic of the summary of insights has ended up in your Academy booklet, hopefully. If not, I'll put it on the customer Slack as well. But 80% of the responses, probably not surprisingly, indicated that menu management was something that they desperately wanted. In terms of feature prioritization, I think we had a broad match in terms of we thought reordering items was going to be the most important, as long with adding these external links to kind of, if you've got a council tax page, being able to put a link in the navigation to, say, your third-party payment provider, so that they can go pay the council tax and see that within the navigation, as well as any call to actions that you've got. We've got changing the item title came third, hiding items, so being able to have, I think the idea here was that you could, while you were developing items, being able to hide specific areas of your taxonomy, so that you could develop them on the website and then kind of like make that section live. And then the last one, which didn't do quite as well, but I think once we've got these other ones delivered will become more important, is being able to link who can see which item in the navigation to a particular role. So if you've got members of staff, or probably something more like schools, people with an account on your website that's linked to a known entity, you might want to show them additional content that you don't show to members of the public. It's a quick screenshot of the UI. So it's kind of in keeping with everything else. We've got drag drop elements to be able to reorder it. Clicking on items opens up a window so that you can go in and fiddle with the title. That should be coming, as I say, in the next release as part of the beta. So if you opt into the beta program, you'll be able to see that and interact with it and give us any feedback. In terms of our roadmap, take a breath. So personalization tools, it's going to be probably the next great big feature that we work on. The menu builder has gone out, or is about to go out, in terms of our beta program. We've got coming up, as Richard mentioned, the IE work and the Symphony work, which I haven't put on here as they're not really features, but they are big elements that we're working on in terms of our team. And kind of coinciding with that, we'll be looking at compliance with the WCAG 2.1 AA standard for our internal interfaces. So there is a piece of EU legislation which requires us to be compliant by kind of late 2019. And so we're looking at any changes that we require in order to be compliant with that. Some things that we're looking at in terms of like longer term, we're looking at content type builder. So if you've ever kind of had that feeling of, they've got an idea of how events looks, but I would like our events to have more bits or a particular type of document or template. At the moment, a lot of the time you're pushed down into a directory record path, whereas actually you might want it to kind of like sit more in terms of how documents or homepages or news items are managed on your site. This is where we'll be addressing those requirements. Again, that'll be something that you'll probably see a lot of surveys and other bits go out so that we can understand your needs before we deliver it. Things in the pipeline. So we're still working on, there's 2 proof of concepts that we've done that have yet to make it into software, which have come from feature requests, which is the homepage offline option and the scheduled approval of content. So that if you have some embargoed content that you want to go live on, I don't know, Saturday morning, you don't have to log in, make that live. You can just set it to go live then. In terms of feature requests, because I know at the moment it probably feels a lot of the time that they go off into a deep dark pit and we don't talk about them very much. They don't. I get all of them and I look at them. It's a 3-step process where when you put a feature request in, they are once a quarter documented. So we go through and list them all, check for kind of like the duplicates and increment the scoring. So they are documented on our support portal website. So there's an entire directory on there so you can go and see what other people are asking about and get an idea of what features are being requested in the platform. They're collated, so we merge those requests because what we want to deliver are really the ones which are requirements throughout our customer base. And then they're scored, so it's an alignment of your kind of strategic priorities and our strategic priorities, along with how long we think they're going to take and how risky we think they are, because it tends to be that if they are quite risky, if we're changing some core component, it's actually going to take us a lot longer. We're going to have to put more time into planning those. So at the moment, the top 5 are allow home pages to be taken offline, scheduled workflow approval, and then we've got some interface improvements. I think these probably go, the ones specifically called out by customers are to events and to news, but I think these requirements are pretty common across all our interfaces, our table interfaces. So it's being able to sort the columns, being able to see key information like live and key dates easily, so that when you're going in there and trying to kind of take down whole blocks of content, it's a lot easier to find those and to mass select them and make an action on those. And then front URL improvements as well. That popped into there. So